Hello, everybody.
All right, this is the People versus J. Daniel Saylor. It's case number 2313301 FH. Mr. Saylor, you filed a motion for reduction in your sentence. You can go ahead and tell me why you think I should grant this.
Since I've been here, I've had a lot to think about. Knowing what I did in the past to get here wasn't the right choice. Now I can see the better me. You know, I've had a lot of time, like I said, to think about this, and I feel a lot better about myself. I've been working with CMH. I've talked to a lot of mentors in here within the church, and been working on myself, been reading a lot of self-help books. I just feel like I could be a great member of the community again if I had a chance. I've been good to all the staff here. I think they're pretty good staff we got here. Just been doing what I had to do. You know, been here for 9.5 months, and I feel like I'm rehabilitated enough to get out there and start doing my classes and doing my probation and moving forward.
When's your out date?
My out date is February 28th. I'm working in the kitchen since September 16th as a cook. Right along with a lot of food.
I'm just looking at my notes here. It looks like at one point you rejected a no prison offer. The offer was withdrawn. Looks like your case was progressing towards trial, and did you end up making a deal shortly before trial?
Yeah, for a year in the county here.
Yeah.
I ended up doing a year. So far, I got 9.5 months.
All right, anything else that you want the court to consider?
That's it. I just, like I said, you know, I feel like I've been rehabilitated. I definitely got to think about the things that I've done wrong and that they were the right thing to do. As I'm working on myself, I feel a lot more confident that I could be a better person out there. You know, I had a lot of anger and hatred in my heart when I came in here.
How'd you get rid of that?
I got rid of it by talking to people, especially Richard and CMH right here, and the church people, and just found love in myself. You know, like I said, a lot of self-help books about depression and anger. I've read like 5 or 6 of them. Really helped. You know, just letting go, like the Let Go book. I read that, and that's really helped me. It's about just surrendering yourself, and just actually sitting back and looking at the outcome of things that you did wrong, and the outcome of things that you can do better. And I just feel like that's me.
Okay, all right. Ms. Robinson, anything that you want the court to consider?
It appears that this case was originally set for jury trial. Looks like selection was to be on April 30th of 2024. The trial to start on May 1st. The court in January issued an order revoking this defendant's bond due to violations of his condition and having contact with the victim. It also appears that that trial was eventually canceled due to the active warrant that the defendant had. I have a notice from the court dated Wednesday, March 20th of 2024, where notice is hereby given that the jury trial set for those previously mentioned dates is canceled due to the defendant's active warrant. There was a pretrial hearing in June. Then there was another one in July, at which time the defendant did enter a plea. Looks like the plea the guidelines on the domestic violence third offense were 10 to 23 months. The guidelines on the carrying a weapon with unlawful intent were 12 to 24 months. The people made a no prison offer. Your Honor sentenced him to 12 months in the county jail. I don't have the normal note in here from my staff, but we are unaware. I am unaware at the time of any incidents that he has had at the jail. However, any reduction would put him below the guidelines on his plea. So that is all the information I think brings you fully up to speed to make your decision. Thank you, Your Honor.
I haven't had any incidents in here whatsoever.
Okay, well, good, good. All right, well, these are always hard decisions to make. I mean, you only got 18 days left to go. So part of me says, just what's another 18 days? 18 days more going to be, make it any better or worse than before. But the last guy was in front of me, he only had 20 days left to go. So it's like, well, do I grab it, give it to you and not to him? But ultimately, just kind of looking back, I can't say that I was unfair with you. I mean, typically when people violate the bond condition, don't come to court, I would be very hesitant to give them the deal that they had on the table before they did all that other bad stuff. So the fact that I kind of broke from tradition and allowed you to do the no prison plea after all that, says to me that I was being fair with you. At this point, if your guidelines are 12 to 24, I don't see any compelling reason to go below your advisory guidelines. It sounds like you're in a really good mental place right now. And if you keep that up, you're going to do really well when you get out. Sometimes it's easy to keep that positive attitude in the jail because all the pressures of life are not yet. So when you kind of get out, then it gets a little bit harder. But I do see from the paperwork that you got a job waiting for you, right?
Yeah, hopefully still. I mean, right now, like I said, trying to get out here because, I mentally transform myself into a better person. The 18 days, it would be nice. I could get, hopefully, some things on the ground and not lose a bunch of stuff. I mean, since I've been here, I've lost a lot of things. I've lost family members, dear to my heart. I've lost possessions, property. I mean, my love, everything. So, I mean, it is. I mean, I'm offering this all really up to you. So,
yeah, like I said, there's no reason that I can see to go below the advisory guidelines. So, I wish you the best, but I'm going to deny the motion.
Your Honor, I need to correct what I said before.
Okay.
I looked in the wrong spot. I have 3 incident reports from the jail involving Mr. Saylor.
Oh,
One was dated June 4th, one was dated July 18th, and one was dated November 8th. And November 8th, he caused a disturbance in the kitchen, and there was a report made on that. So I do believe he has had 3 incidents that have resulted in reports from COs since his time at the jail.
yeah, I'm still in the kitchen, certifications.
I can't understand what you're saying,
I
sir.
said I'm still in the kitchen, certified cook. But I mean, I don't see what the incidents were. I mean, I had a brother that was in here too as well.
I
Say
believe,
what the incidents were?
yes, Your Honor, in June 4th, it appears that he was fighting with another inmate.
Never fought.
I gave you a chance.
And an inmate Hines, it appears that he was involved. It says inmate, this had to do with inmate Hines and Saylor were involved in a physical altercation in which OC spray was used to stop the fight. And it goes on, there was another fight at the same time. It looks like that was involved in trying to start a riot. That was not him, but it was at a similar time. It's in the same report. So apparently he was involved in a fight that resulted in OC spray being used to break that up. In July 18th, one of the, there was a CO that had been smelled the odor of hooch coming from a cell. at which point Mr. Saylor, while they were dealing with other inmates, was referring to the officers as dickheads. They told him that was being insubordinate, and he then rang into the Delta controls asking for an officer to speak with him. When they opened the door, he said he wanted to speak with the sergeant, so they closed the door. Then he put his face in the D1 hatch and stated that my wife fucks me in the ass. At that time, more deputies arrived and removed him from where he was and escorted him to T6 without incident. Then it said detainee Saylor will be relocated for 30 days and a 15-day review per the sergeant, and he will be placed on a 15-day e-cig restriction. They also confiscated an e-cig at that time, and they were going to dispose of it. I don't know if that
That's not
was
me.
from him, that it was
Is it the right
removed.
sailor?
Yes.
It's not the right sailor.
Stop, one at a time, stop. I'm asking her.
When we asked for his reports, this is what we got. They indicated that this was him, J. Daniel Saylor Jr.
For a woman, I've never got locked in D1, ever. I had 3 cells since I've been here.
And then on November 8th of 2024, inmate J. Daniel Saylor Jr. caused a disturbance in the kitchen after being caught sending messages to his brother. And then apparently he was placing a note in the tray for his brother, Michael Saylor. Kitchen staff told him that he could be removed from kitchen work. And then Sergeant Britton and another CO went to investigate. They were given the note and talked about how Jay was a cook and he saw their mother. He asked for Tim's contact number and how Crystal left him. So he was looking for another girlfriend if Michael was aware of anybody who was available. Then another inmate asked why he was being moved from the kitchen. And yeah, so it looks like that one, he was sending notes he was caught sending a note to his brother through the trays in the kitchen.
The note to my brother, I wrote, he had bought a pizza tray. And I said, hey man, keep your head up. I love you. That's all that said. I've never been locked in D1, ever. I never sat there and got out of line with the SEALs, and definitely wouldn't say no one was fucking me in my ass.
I believe it
That's
was.
what they're alleging, you were saying that to one of the
Yeah, no, but I mean,
Yeah, correction.
this is unfair to me at this point. Because I would never say anything like that.
Sir, I denied the motion before I had any of that information, so
Yeah, I know, but
I'm not
you
even,
gotta get the
I'm not even,
paperwork right.
I'm not even considering that information. I'm going on just the fact that your guidelines were 12 to 24, and there's no reason to go below those advisory guidelines. I'm
All
not
right,
considering that, so it's true.
Can I ask another question? Did the charges on my thing get dropped from knowingly assaulting a pregnant woman? Because that's not right either. There's someone in this courtroom right now that can tell you that.
It's all under the same statute. People that get confused a lot like that because it's knowing assaulting a pregnant woman or domestic violence. It's all under the, stop, you asked me a question.
Okay.
It's all under the same statute code. It comes up quite a bit. That's just the way it's printed out. But there's, you're not the first person to raise that. I wish it was different. It's where the system kicks out the information.
But it's a guy. So how is it domestic when it's a guy? It's a
Sir,
guy that lives
I
on.
denied your motion. I heard what you had to say. It's all continuing.
I love you so much, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate every one of you. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.